Hello, hello. It's another episode of Crystal's Nightcap. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. This one is actually going to be recorded and put on YouTube, like a video recording. Some of y'all have been calling me out for not being on my YouTube game. You know, I used to throw out 3 videos a week, but it's really tough. I was doing it by myself and it was just way too hard. But y'all know that I have my little cousin Esteban, 18-year-old Esteban, in the studio help me out these days. So he's going to help me crop up all this podcast and the video and try to make it look as good as possible. All right. So we are just going to get started. Again, if you're not subscribed wherever you're listening, iTunes or the free iHeartRadio app, make sure please do your girl a solid subscribe. Let your friends know that there's this ratchet little Mexican out here in San Francisco who has a podcast and you like it, and just share it with your friends. That will help me out too. And you guys already know that you should be following me on socials at La Crystal Rosas. So yes, we will get straight into Hand Me the Headlines, and then I'm going to share some personal stories at the end. And the first thing I want to talk about today is these YouTube pranksters who you guys have probably seen me repost them on Instagram and all that stuff. They're called Nelk Boys, and they went to the Oracle Arena to just trash Warriors fans and just try to get them under their skin. They were pranking them, and our Warriors fans got so mad. Here, I'm gonna play a little audio clip right here.
Bandwagoners.
Bro, you're in my stadium, so show some respect.
Just typical Golden State fans, though.
Yeah. How does
Name
it go?
3 old players on the Warriors.
Come on.
Exactly, you can't. Bandwagoners. This is our city now. Our city.
Too bad, buddy.
E40 sucked.
I'm obsessed with these guys. The main one, his name is Kyle, and he's just so good. He is super witty with his mouth and always getting people mad. Our Warriors fans wanted to fight these guys. You have to check it out. It's up at lacrystalrosas.com. The one that hurt me the most was when he was like, E40 sucks. If someone came up to me and told me E40 sucks, I might punch him in the face. I don't know. Well, I ain't trying to catch a case. You know how that is. I'm not non-violence out here, but you guys, there's a problem. So I'm very rough with my hands, and if you guys know me, I always have my nails on point, on tip. Thank you, Betty Cakes, love you so much. But I have very weak nails, and on top of that, I am very tough on my nails. So I always carry nail glue with me. Wherever I go, 9 out of 10 times when you see me, I will have nail glue on me. But the thing with nail glue is it always dries so quick and crazy, so I have to cap it with a thumbtack, right? Today during my show, I had to glue one of my nails back on. And I used my teeth to rip off the thumbtack from the nail glue, and this nail crazy glue freaking exploded in the front of my mouth, all over my tongue. The front of my tongue is numb right now. I can just feel the crazy glue all over my teeth and everything. It's so nasty. It feels gross, and it's hella hard to get off. Anyways, it's a personal problem. So the next story I want to talk about is happened right here in Oakland. Okay, Saturday night. Did you get an Amber Alert? Okay, I got an Amber Alert around 11:30 or something like that. I was honestly sleeping because this Saturday night was when I went to my best friend Zoe Karen Fillion's house for her animal zoo themed party where I dressed up as a cow, and a lot of y'all called me out because cows don't belong at the zoo. Anywho, I did get that Amber Alert, and it was okay, it's a 2005 Mercedes stolen, blah, 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 child abduction. And whenever that happens, obviously, it's a big deal here in the Bay because they don't happen too often. Amber Alerts do not happen very often, but it turns out that this whole Amber Alert was a lie. Okay. So this man decided to call the cops and say that his 3-year-old daughter was taken by a unknown suspect. And he gave the cops a description of what ended up being his own car, his own 2005 silver Mercedes, because it just got stolen. But the cops later found out that, okay, the little 3-year-old Sierra was with her mom this whole time. There was really no child abduction. This dude just called the cops saying that there was an Amber Alert because he wanted to get his car recovered quicker. And it worked. It kind of worked. I mean, I don't know if this is brilliant or kind of messed up. Some people say this guy is going to deserve a jail time. I don't know if he deserves jail time. I think a heavy fine will do. But yeah, it's definitely not cool that he did this at all, because Amber Alerts are very serious. Amber Alerts have to do with kids and using this to your advantage just to get your stolen car back. That obviously is not cool. All of us know that. But I also don't think that he should serve jail time. I don't know. Do you think he should serve jail time? Hit me up on socials. I'm at La Crystal Rosas. Let me know what you think. Our Warriors, we played the Trailblazers tonight right here at home at the Oracle Arena in Oakland, California, and we took the W. Okay, we were looking good. Steph was hitting those free throws. My cousin Beto Rosas was there. He told me that he was sitting right behind the Currys. He also said that G-Eazy was in the house. E40 was in the house. One funny story that came out tonight was, remember how Steph Curry's parents didn't know who they were going to rep tonight because their other son, what's his name? Seth Curry. Yeah, Seth Curry plays for the Trailblazers. And I honestly didn't know that. My dad was the one who was telling me and was super excited about all of it. But yeah, he plays for the Trailblazers. He was going to play against his brother Steph Curry at Oracle Arena. His parents were going to flip a coin to see who they were going to root for in game one. But the dad ended up just rocking both jerseys, okay? You see him right here. Check it out at crystalrosas.com. He's walking in. It's like the news cameras. And the front, like the jersey he's wearing, Golden State Warriors, number 30. But then the back, it's like, they must have sewn these. I don't know how they did this. I mean, yeah, they must have just sewn one jersey on top of another one. The back is the Trailblazers. I think it says number 37 or 31 right there for Seth Curry. I thought that was really cute. That's definitely a way to do it. Steph's mom was wearing the Trailblazers in the front and Curry's jersey in the back. Super cute. That's how you rep it. That's what I would do. I mean, you can't just rep one son. Might as well rep both of them. And I think that pretty much covers it today for Hand Me the Headlines. Nothing super crazy. Some other stuff you can check out at LaCrystalRosas.com. Wendy Williams talks about how, you guys know that's my girl. How you doing? Wendy Williams talks about how she is rediscovering her love of men. There was rumors that she was with her security guard, that she's over here canoodling, hanky-pankying with her security guard. She says no. She put him on her show. Like, she panned the camera to him and was like, nah, we're just homies. I'm not with him, but I am a single out here living life. So congratulations, Wendy. Y'all know I'm a Wendy stan, so I always have to give you guys updates. Another story, a Florida man was arrested for slapping his girlfriend in the face with a cheeseburger. If it was a hostile slap, like a rude slap, that would have got me really mad. But if it was like a joking slap, I would have been like, oh, babe. And taking a bite out of the cheeseburger. That's just me. Let's see what else. Oh, yeah, you guys saw that Cardi B. She was calling out single moms who have boyfriends and telling the ladies out there, warning the ladies that you should not leave your babies with your boyfriend because you don't know their intentions. Some boyfriends get jealous. And I agree with what Cardi is saying. I just don't know why she felt the need to say that. Like, I mean, maybe she's being extra precautionary, especially now that she has her baby culture and sees, you know, terrible things that happen. She brought it up because of what's happening right now with a 5-year-old Malia Davis, who disappeared. She was disappeared for 10 days. Police believe that she's dead now, and they are charging Malia Davis's mother's ex-fiance with tampering because it's a really terrible story. I mean, they all think that the mom's ex-fiance is the one who took Malia and probably killed her. Poor baby. Those details are up like crystalrosas.com if you don't know what I'm talking about. So I think that's what stemmed Cardi to talk about this on Twitter and sound off about it. But I feel like Cardi always has people looking at her and attacking her for things that she sometimes needs to just take a step back. I mean, I know that's what Cardi got famous for, was for being herself and being loud and sharing her views on things. But at the same time, talking about kids is very, very controversial and touchy, and people have to tiptoe around stuff like that. And we all know that Cardi doesn't need any more publicity. Like, any move Cardi makes, she is going to make headlines. So if I would give Cardi some advice, it would just be maybe to take a step back a little bit. And I know that you want mothers out there to be aware of things like this, and you want moms to be safe and make sure their kids are safe and all that. But I just don't think you should be like, I don't know. I feel kind of bad for saying this, but maybe like rallying up mothers, because there's those mothers who are like, don't tell me how to parent, you know, I trust my boyfriend and all these things. But at the end of the day, you really don't know. So I think Cardi, she has a point. But I don't know if she should be making points like that right now. She should just be sticking to her music, talking about her lipo after baby culture, and just focus on the music a little more, and her Fashion Nova line, which came out, which looked pretty cute if you if you ask me. So all those stories and more are up if you want to check them out for yourself. LaCrystalRosas.com. So what personal topics I want to talk about today is times that I should have gotten fired from my jobs. Not here at Wild 94.9. That is going to be a whole box of topics within itself. It was before I worked here at Wild, or actually while I was working here at Wild 94.9. A lot of you guys know that I was a server at a restaurant, Pasta Pelican. I was a hostess for a few years, and then after like a little time there, I needed a little more cash. Our boss Hadi, he hired me as a server at Pasta Pelican in Alameda. It's like my favorite restaurant. I still go there all the time with my family. It's a perfect first date spot. It's right across the water from Jack London Square, but the Alameda side. If you haven't been to Pasta Pelican, you have to check it out. Tell them I sent you there, and they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah," they'll probably give you a free dessert or something, but. I worked as a server at Pasta Pelican, and then I worked in the catering business at Pacific Fine Foods. That's also in Alameda. I lived in San Leandro. I don't know why all my jobs were in Alameda. It just kind of coincidental happened that way. But this first story happened at Pasta Pelican, and I did not get fired for this. I actually never got caught for doing this. And when I exposed to one of my coworkers that I was doing this, she actually told me that she did way, way worse than this. So the first story is about basically Pasta Pelican is a long restaurant. It's very long. So from the hostess stand to the kitchen, it's like a good 40-second walk, which some of you guys are like, okay, that's nothing. But for me and for my cousin Gavi, we both were hostesses at the same time. That was kind of a long walk. And I love Pasta Pelican because you could get unlimited food there. As long as the cooks weren't actually making the food, like the stampacatas or the pastas or anything like that, any other food was free for all. So the desserts that were pre-made, we can have unlimited tiramisu, creme brulee, like any of that stuff. The soups that were already pre-made that day, the like clam chowders, the what other lentil soups. I didn't like that one, but I messed with the clam chowder tough. Those are always free. So we would just eat all day. We'd eat the bread from Pasta Pelican all day, the soups all day, the desserts all day. You know the fruit that you put on top of the desserts, like the little fresas or the berry? We would eat the cases of those all day. Poor Hadi. I mean, we probably ran through so much food at Pasta Pelican, just wasted it all on ourselves. We were so fat. So we would just always be eating. We would go to the kitchen, get some desserts, get some soups, and we would just eat it at the front while people were walking in. We had no shame. I had a lot more shame than Gavi did. Gavi would literally eat the soup right in front of the customers, but I would kind of hide it a little bit. And, you know, since it was kind of a far walk to go back to the kitchen, there were some times where if I was a little lazy and wanted to clean up a little bit in the front area, I would get our forks and like our knives and stuff, and I would just toss it in the trash. Which super bad, super wasteful. I understand, but we had so many forks and knives that, you know, one maybe every month didn't really matter. Like it just wasn't a big deal in the grand scheme of things. And then I think once a year we would replenish all of our forks and knives to get, you know, nice new ones. So I remember one day me and Gavi were hosting at the front, and I tell her, I'm like, Gavi, when you work with someone, you guys know, you just be spilling your whole lives to them, especially if you're working with them hours at a day. So me and Gavi just knew everything about each other. Well, we are cousins, but like we would just talk about everything. We sometimes didn't even know what to talk about. So I kind of I was feeling really guilty about this. I was feeling really guilty about throwing away these forks and these knives and the spoons too, like the clam chowder spoons. So one day I think we were talking about like being guilty of something, or like I don't know what we were talking about. But I told Gavi, yeah, you know how the kitchen is far and sometimes we get free food here. Sometimes instead of walking all the way back to the kitchen to drop off the forks and knives, I just throw them in the trash. And I know it's really bad and I shouldn't be doing it, but I just be lazy sometimes. And I'm going to stop doing it. Nah. And she looks at me and she's like, a fork, a knife. Girl, sometimes I be throwing the whole plates in the trash. Gavi throws entire plates, like dessert plates or the bowls for our clam chowder and lentil soups and tortilla soup. She would throw the whole plates in the garbage. I was dying when she was telling me this. I was like, girl, okay, I thought I was doing way too much. You're doing way, 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 way too much. And our boss never saw, because of course he would never do that in front of him. But yeah, we were doing that for a few years, not gonna lie. And the next story of when I don't know if he would have fired us over that. I don't think he would have, honestly. But this next one was kind of sketchy, and I still feel really, really bad for this. And also, I know that it's one of those situations where you do something bad and you get caught for it, but your boss just doesn't tell you anything. He just knows that, like, I know what you did kind of thing. So when I was working in the front as a hostess, we were always in charge of the to-go orders. We would like pack up the food and we would give them like the to-go forks, plastic forks and stuff like that, and just make sure the to-goes were all together. And there weren't many to-go orders. I was hosting on the weekends. I maybe would get one a weekend or two, kind of depending. And it was always recurring customers who would ask for to-go orders. So I answer the phone and I ask for, I take down the to-go order, and he wants a New York strip steak. And those are expensive at Pasta Pelican, you know, well, especially at the time for me, like that was lightweight expensive. So he orders his New York strip and whatever mashed potatoes on the side, take the order down. I think this was like 7 o'clock or 6 or 7 o'clock. And the to-go order's all ready and it's up at the front. And this guy's taking forever. Like, this guy, like, legit does not show up. It's like 7 o'clock rolls around, 8 o'clock rolls around, 9 o'clock rolls around. It's getting close to 10 o'clock. And I'm just like, man, this guy's not going to pick up his steak. I guess he just isn't going to get it or whatever. And we close Pasta Pelican around 9:30, 10. And it was like close to 10. So I just decided I was going to take the steak for myself. Like, if he ain't going to show up, I mean, who cares? And, you know, we can't order steaks at Pasta Pelican. We can order any pasta dish, but when it comes to steak or seafood, we have to pay half for ourselves. So me kind of taking this expensive steak is lightweight a big deal. But like I said, I didn't think it was a big deal because I didn't think that he was going to come in. And, you know, when it's a to-go order, you have to cash out and all that stuff. But he never really came to drop off money. So I just kind of swept all of it under the rug and just made it seem like he never showed up. So my boss was up front with me and I was cashing out. He gave me my tips and all that because we get a percentage of tips from the servers. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad. Like, I feel honestly so bad for this because I saw the look on his face. Like, when I turned back, I saw the look on his face like he knew what I did. Basically, my boss Hadi tipped me out, and he's super cool. My boss Hadi is from Pasta Pelican, the coolest boss ever. I've had really good bosses, not gonna lie. And I grabbed the to-go bag, and he doesn't really know. Like, he's not a micromanager. Like, he doesn't know what's going on. He just, like, assumes that everything is cool. I grabbed the to-go bag, and I just kind of walk out. I'm like, bye, Hadi. Like, I'll see you tomorrow. He's like, bye, sweetie. And I'm walking out. As I walk out, a man by himself is walking in, and I know that's his steak because people don't go to Pasta Pelican by themselves. It's a date spot, you know. It's super pretty view, super pretty restaurant. So I know that this was his New York strip with the mashed potatoes, medium well, that I was just about to steal. That I was stealing, in the act of stealing, and it was just too late. Like, it was already too late. I had already cashed out. I had already deleted the New York strip from the thing. Like, it was just kind of, it was too late. And I'm walking out, and I open the door. He's coming in. I'm holding the to-go bag. I look back at Hadi. He sees me with the bag. He sees the guy walking in. We all know that it has to be a to-go order. And I'm just so embarrassed. I just keep walking. And I could see like the look of disappointment in my boss Hadi's face. And I just felt so, what would I have done? Because they're already, man, this is so awkward. Now the guy's going to have to wait 20 minutes for a brand new steak. I just stole a steak. That's expensive, like money that I took out of the company. I felt so bad because, you know, the soup and the desserts and stuff. I mean, even Hadi would eat desserts in front of us. Hadi would have a bowl of soup. Sometimes he'd even have a glass of wine with us. So we all knew that was okay to eat, like as a community, as the workers. But a whole strip of steak that I just stole from Pasta Pelican, I felt hella bad. And I just felt like, man, I really let Hadi down because he's such a cool boss. He never trips over anything. And he knew that I had messed up. And I was so embarrassed. I didn't want to call and apologize. I didn't text him and apologize. I came in the next day acting as if nothing. But I know that he knew that I had kind of messed up. And I still feel really bad for this. I'm going to send this to Hadi and so that he knows that I still feel really bad and that I know the whole situation. But yeah, that was another time in Pasta Pelican where I was just like, man, I'm a terrible person. And the next story happened at my catering job. And this one I definitely got karma for afterwards. And you'll hear why. So I worked at Pacific Fine Food Catering in Alameda. If y'all ever need a caterer around like the East Bay or the Bay Area, whatever, you got to hit up Kelly. Call Kelly. Let her know Crystal sent you. We do like awesome stuff for catering events, and we cater like the big corporate offices in downtown Oakland, like the Kaisers and all that. The CEO of Kaiser in Oakland, he's allergic to peanuts. If you didn't know that, now you know. Because I remember when I had to go up there, like everything had to be sterilized, no peanuts at all. Like that was the number one rule going up there. Anyways. At my catering job, basically, like I was just like a peasant, y'all. Like I would get big platters, load them into the big vans or the big trucks, and then I would get the little catering carts and I would put the platters on the carts, and then I would go like try to find parking in downtown Oakland. Imagine how that was. Then I had to take the little carts and go to like the ramps, go through all the ramps, take the elevator all the way up to these offices. With my little cart, set up beautiful buffets, and then go back to the kitchen, and then go back and clean up all the dirty plates that we use, bring them back to the kitchen. It was pretty much an 8-hour shift of just straight working, heavy lifting, packing food, all that stuff. So I did that whenever I could get hours, and well, they always gave me hours. Whenever I needed a little moolah, I would go do my catering job. And my boss, Kelly, again, super cool. Love her so much. Was always very understanding of like me working here at Wild. And, you know, if I needed some days off, she'd be down, and super, super lucky. So the cool thing about working at the catering is sometimes it was like leftover food. I honestly felt like those little rats in Ratatouille, because like whenever there was leftover food, I know this sounds grimy, but I would eat that stuff because it was good food that we would make. We would have like good like teriyaki salmon, or we would have, you know, good potato. We made such good food at Pacific Fine Foods. Well, the cooks did. I didn't do the cooking. I did the catering part of it. But yeah, we had hella good food that whenever there was leftover scraps, I would just be like a little ratoncito over there. I really did feel like Ratatouille. And sometimes we had leftover food that we didn't even make. So one day after my shift, it was just me and Kelly in the kitchen, and she was like, hey, Crystal, like we have some leftover raw salmon. Take some home and then leave some for the rest of the kitchen tomorrow morning. And it was like big slabs of salmon. And I was like, dang, I'm going to take the whole thing. It was like a good 3 slabs of salmon, and I was over here being hella greedy, and I just decided to take them all for myself and for my mom and for my dad at home. And I was like, y'all, I got hella salmon, like we in here. So I tried to cook this salmon. Never cooked salmon before in my life. I had some teriyaki glaze. I made a big mistake of putting the glaze on the salmon as I tried to sear it on the pan, which you know is not good at all, because the teriyaki sauce starts burning and it smells and tastes so bad. So I ruined all the salmon. So that was pretty much my karma for that, unfortunately. But there was even more karma that came the next day. So the next day, I go and do another round of catering, and we have crab, like lobster bisque, lobster bisque. And I think this was one of the only times we ever made this. Like I never knew that we even did this. And we went to an event, dropped it off, all that stuff. The kitchen ended up making like a lot extra on accident. So I get back to the kitchen at the end of the day, and it's me and Kelly in the kitchen. And Kelly, she's so freaking sweet. She's just like, hey, Crystal, look, we have an extra pot of lobster crab bisque. I don't want it to go bad by tomorrow. Just take the whole thing home. I'm just like, oh my gosh, are you serious? She's like, yeah, just take it all home. So it was like an olla like this of lobster crab bisque. And because we were at a catering company, we had a lot of to-go Tupperware and stuff. So it was like it wasn't a to-go thing. And I grabbed the lobster bisque and I put it in the back of my 2008 Jetta, my Jetta Volkswagen. And this is the same car that ended up totaling. That's a different story. Not my fault. It was a drunk driver. Not me. Different. Anyways, so I had put this big like Tupperware olla of lobster crab bisque in the back of my little Jetta, and I'm driving off. I'm doing my thing, and I'm hitting the Alameda Tube, and I get out of the Alameda Tube, and my turn was just too quick. The whole thing of crab and lobster bisque, I heard it. I felt it in the back. Flipped over in my car. And this is one of those carpeted cars. So I immediately pull over. I'm like, oh my God. I like pull over to the side, And I get out of the car and I go to the back passenger seat, and oh my God, y'all. I don't know how this happened, but it completely flipped over upside down, lid off. So there was nothing I could do. Like, there was absolutely nothing I could do at this point. All I could do is lift up the Tupperware thing, and all this smelly lobster crab bisque just went all over the back of the floor of my car. And I'm just like, yeah, I deserve this. Like, I deserve this because I stole the salmon yesterday, and this is hella nasty. So it's all over the back of my car. I just have to I don't even know what to do at this point. I don't have any toallas or anything to clean it up or whatever. I have to peel off that part of the carpet and try to dump it out to the the side of the sidewalk in downtown Oakland. My bad. And the ants were happy that night, and it made my car smell, I kid you not, probably for 2 months. I was trying my best to scoop it all out. It was so freaking nasty. All my work clothes were so gross and just felt filled with crab and lobster bisque. I went to Pet Boys and I got some car carpet cleaner, and every other day I would try to scrub. I scrubbed so hard. Okay, if you've never seen carpet car cleaner, the cap part is the scrub part. It's little hair bristles that are hard plastic. I would scrub the carpet so hard that the plastic was just pretty much bent all the way down at one point. I had to buy 3 different cans of the carpet car cleaner, and it oh my gosh. Until that car got totaled, it still smelled like crab lobster bisque. That car smelled so nasty. There was nothing I could do. I had car fresheners in every single vent. I had the little apple tree, that little tree smelly thing up there too. I did whatever I could, and that is the karma that I got for trying to steal salmon from her. I felt, that's exactly what happens when you try to get over on your job. Either your guilt will kill you or actual karma will get you. I never told Kelly that story because I felt embarrassed that I stole all the salmon from her, but I'm going to send this link to her too so that she knows as well. Those are a few times that I got over on my jobs. Probably should have, I don't know. The salmon definitely wouldn't have gotten me fired either. So, actually, I don't know. It's just, you don't want greedy people working for you, And that was just a very greedy move on my end, especially that, and then the New York strip thing, and then the whole fork throwing in the trash. That's just me being careless. But yeah, those are a few times where I definitely should have got written up or something at my job. Have you ever done something crazy at your job that you got away with, or maybe you even got caught for? Hit me up on socials at La Crystal Rosas. Comment below if you're watching on YouTube. Make sure to check out my blog, lacrystalrosas.com, every day. I put a lot of effort into my blog, you guys, and these are stuff that I like. So I'm pretty sure if you like listening to my podcast, you will like it too. Wherever you are listening to Crystal's Nightcap, do your girl a solid. Make sure you are subscribed either on iTunes or the free iHeartRadio app. And I really appreciate all you guys who are sharing this nightly podcast with your friends. It really helps. Oh, and my boss wants me to remind you guys to please rate me 5 stars on iTunes. You guys, I have 43 ratings on iTunes. That's kind of a lot, right? So add some more. Maybe let's get to 100 by the end of the month or something. Yeah, throw me some more ratings on iTunes. 5 stars, please. A nice little comment if you can. It will really help me out a lot. Again, thank you for listening. That's that on that. I will see you on the next one. Mwah.